I'm going to wait a few minutes before I start. There's some people still coming in. Hope everybody's having a good Thursday morning. All right, let's see here. Okay, we can get started. Welcome to this webinar, Calibrate Your Marketing Compass. Let's see, let me get set up here. Get my controls working. All right, so my name is Robb Luther. This is a picture of me at 5 a.m. every morning for the past week and a half working on this webinar. So I hope it's valuable to everybody. I'm a partner at PIC. I've been in marketing for over 20 years. I developed the Hero Mission strategy back in 2019 as a way to help content marketers and business marketers and business do a better job at adding value to their content strategies. So who is this webinar for? It's for everybody, but it's really for content strategists who are struggling to come up with good ideas to create content. At the end of this webinar, I want to give you a virtually limitless set of ideas that you can create for your content strategy that aligns the value your company offers to the outcomes that your customers are trying to achieve. And this is also for the content strategist or content marketer that feels like they're stuck in a paint by project number, where you're just pushing out content that's being pushed on you and you have no real impact on the strategy, the overall strategy of the content. What I want you to walk away with is the desire to take a step up and be a leader in your content strategy, understand what your business goals are for the business, understand what heroes or what customers can help you achieve those goals, what are the missions they're trying to accomplish, what are the outcomes they're trying to accomplish, and create a content strategy that's going to help your business hit their goals while also helping your heroes achieve their goals. So here we go. We're going to talk a little bit about heroes. We're going to talk a little bit about missions. We're going to talk about story building. And then I'm going to talk a little bit about aligning teams. So I'm sure everybody's heard of ideal customer profiles and buyer personas. You may not have heard of heroes. So I want to do a little bit of explaining the relationship between those. We have a client, Capstone Games. They are a publisher of board games, and I'm a huge fan of board games, and I particularly like one of their board games. So they deal with publishers, other publishers. They deal with distributors. They deal with manufacturers. They deal with retail chains. So all of these different groups sum up the market of the tabletop gaming world. Okay, so that is the market. Now, they go to a trade show every year called Gamma. This trade show has three key audiences that they want to work with. They want to work with game publishers, they want to work with distributors, and they want to work with retailers. So they want those audiences to come to their trade show. This is ideal customer profiles. So ideal customer profiles represent the businesses within the market that we want to work with. Okay. Now, let's say Capstone Games goes to Gamma and they have a booth and they're going to demo a game. They want everybody at that trade show that is a potential customer to come to their booth and learn about their game. So these would represent their buyer personas. So these are all the potential customers within the ideal customer profile that could be potential customers, right? Now, one thing about buyer personas, in marketing and sales, we create buyer personas and they tend to be a predatory thing. We create buyer personas so that we can target them. We create marketing and sales messages so that we can hook them. So it's kind of a predatory relationship. Okay, going back, the last group of heroes, the last group of people. So these are the people that go to our session. They're watching the game. They like it. They stay after and they talk to us. They talk to us about the game. Maybe they want to play the game. They want to know how they could do tournaments at their location. These are going to end up being customers who champion our brand. Okay, so these are our heroes. And the difference between a hero and a buyer persona, a big difference, is a perspective shift. So we want to go away from that predatory shift of a buyer persona, that predatory view of a buyer persona, and shift that perspective into one where we want to see our heroes be successful. If you think about the last movie you went to, or your favorite movie, and you think about the emotional investment you have in your favorite character of that movie, you get excited when they succeed. You don't want to see them fail. We want you to have that same kind of relationship with the heroes that you're working with. And it's, if you look at your existing business and you look at the perfect customer, the customers that you love working with every day, those are probably a very good representation of who your heroes are. So when you're creating your content, create your content so that you're speaking to your heroes, and everybody else will end up listening. Okay, so to recap real quick, we have the market. Within the market, we have our ideal customer profiles, which are the businesses. Within the businesses, we have our buyer persona. And then finally, we have our heroes. Our buyer persona kind of represents all of our potential customers, but our heroes represent our brand champions. They're the ones that are really going to be excited about working with us, and we're excited about working with them. So once we do the work, and we figure out who our heroes are, then we can start to learn more about them. First, we want to understand what is the purpose within the role that they're giving. Why are they there? So you may already know this, but there's a exercise you can go through to help you add some context to that. We want to start looking at an outcome that they're trying to achieve and see if we can trace it back to the fundamental purpose. So what we could do is take a look at a pretty basic outcome for a content strategist. So we'll use content strategist as our example here. So we want to create a compelling content strategy, right? So create a compelling content strategy that nurtures trust and authority in prospects throughout the customer journey. So that's pretty fundamental. So why do we want to do this? Well, we want to guide prospects from awareness to retention. Well, why do we want to do that? Because we want to convert leads. Why do we want to convert leads? To increase customers, right? We want to increase customers. We want to increase their lifetime value. Well, why do we want to do that? Because we want to drive revenue growth. But why do we want to do that? Because we want to sustain the business success and scalability. We want to be involved in the success and scalability of the business, right? So we can boil that all down, and we can come up with a fundamental purpose for a content strategist to drive sustainable growth by building trust and authority through a content strategy that optimizes the customer journey. So that's what we can look at and see as the fundamental purpose of a content strategist. Now, you might have to do some playing to get there. And in an ideal world, you're actually doing voice of the customer research to see if that resonates with your heroes, because we want everything to be backed up by real life data, right? Okay, and also the impact of fulfilling your fundamental purpose is you're valued by the leadership, and you may even be appreciated by your peers in the sales team, right? So that's the impact of fulfilling your role. So if this is our fundamental purpose, let's pretend this big pink bubble is our fundamental purpose. In order to be successful at our fundamental purpose, we have to achieve, we have jobs to do, right? We have missions that we have to accomplish. And these missions can be related to one another. They can overlap a little bit. We can have missions within missions. And every once in a while, we have a mission that falls outside of our fundamental purpose. And this is actually wrong person, wrong seat. If your hero has a mission outside their fundamental purpose, they probably shouldn't be doing that mission, right? And maybe what you do is you help remove that mission from the radar so that they can focus more on their fundamental purpose. So we want to find the right missions so that we can see our heroes thrive, and that way we will also be successful. So it's a cooperative relationship, right? If our heroes thrive, then we'll be successful, especially if we're the ones helping add value and helping them achieve what they're looking to achieve. So in order to start picking out the missions that are best aligned for what we want to do, there's a couple questions we can ask ourselves. First, which missions am I great at? So make a list of the missions that you are great at, that you guys are best in the world at, or at least almost best in the world at. And then you want to start looking at which of those missions are really going to help me hit our business goals and rank those. Then you can start looking at which of the remaining missions are underserved in the market. Do I have any opportunities there? So once we kind of map this all out, it can help us get a clear picture of which mission is going to be the best one for us to focus on for our content strategy. Now, once we kind of have an idea of what we want our mission to be, we can start writing a mission brief. So a mission brief, I borrowed the jobs to be done framework from Tony Olwick, which I really like. As a, when I want to, so I. And what I'm looking at, as a represents the role and purpose of the hero. When I represents the mission. I want represents their desired outcome. So I represents the impact of the mission. So going back to the content strategist example, as a content strategist looking to build content that optimizes the customer journey. So the hero is the content strategist. The purpose of this mission is to optimize the customer journey. Now I can start digging into mission ideas. We can start at high-level mission ideas that are related to our expertise, product service offerings. That could be collaboration with teams. It could be optimizing the customer journey, content distribution, reporting analytics. So these are all examples of missions, right? And we could even dig deeper if we want. So build content strategies that optimize the customer journey. Well, that could be that could include segmenting your contacts, creating different content formats, conversion rate optimization. So there's different missions there too. Remember this slide, we have a whole bunch of different missions, a whole bunch of different jobs to be done that help us achieve our fundamental purpose. So we want to start understanding how they play together. So going back again, as a content strategist looking to build content that optimizes the customer journey, when I create a hero mission strategy like a rock star, I'm paraphrasing there, now what do we want to do? Do we want to minimize, maximize, sustain? The overall goal of this mission is to maximize conversion rates, get more leads, maximize engagement, right? So why do we want to do that? What's the impact that that's going to have for us? Because the impact is we're going to capture and convert more leads, and we're going to get recognized for it. Recognition is important. There's three things that an employee or a person in an organization needs in order to be happy. They need recognition, getting credit for their work. They need to know that their work's impacting others, and they need to know that they have opportunity for growth. So when you're creating content, if you can sprinkle in things that can help them achieve any of those three things, it's going to automatically add value to your content when you're speaking to your hero. Remember, we want our heroes to succeed. Okay, so we developed our hero mission brief. Now we need to start structuring the mission. We need to understand the hurdles and roadblocks, and we need to start getting it prepped up to be in a story format. So we might structure our mission like this: align goals to outcomes, mapping the hero mission, identifying hurdles and roadblocks, strategy development, executing the strategy, measuring and optimizing. So these are 6 chapters that we could use to structure the story that we're going to tell. So we want to look at this from the customer's perspective as they go through the mission, left to right. Where does the mission start from? Where does it end? And what are the hurdles and roadblocks that they're going to face along the way? And we also have endings, right? Because every story has to have an ending. A happily ever after ending is where our hero has been successful. They've achieved their desired outcomes, expectations are met, and they're happy. A cliffhanger is where they tried the mission. It didn't exactly fail, but they're not necessarily any better off than they were. Or maybe they didn't even try. Maybe they're like, you know what, status quo is fine for right now. We're just going to kick this can down the road and deal with it later. Tragedy, on the other hand, tragedy is where they tried to complete the mission and something drastically went wrong, right? Maybe they got fired. Now, it's important to know this because obviously we want to achieve the happily ever after ending, but at the same time, we may be encountering heroes coming to us that are coming off of a cliffhanger ending or that are coming off of a tragic ending. Maybe they're going to try again. So we want to understand the context as to why they're coming to talk to us, and it's important to know that. Now, we have expertise and experience that go beyond our products and services, and this is one of the critical factors of the hero mission strategy too, is leveraging our expertise, knowledge, and even relationships. So hurdles are things that slow the mission down. These don't stop the mission from happening, but they make it less efficient. Hurdles could be learning new things. It could be scope creep, anything that slows the mission down. Roadblocks, on the other hand, roadblocks stop the mission until they're solved. Like you have to overcome a roadblock before you can move the mission forward. This could be some sort of compliance. It could be hiring a new person. So whatever that is. But the important thing is that understanding our hurdles and roadblocks give us opportunities to add value to help our heroes overcome them, and then start to rely on our expertise and authority as we generate trust with them. So we want them to come to us to help them be successful. Now, structuring the chapters. As we start gathering and learning about those hurdles and roadblocks, and that's actually another great VOC, voice of the customer project, is talking to the customer about hurdles and roadblocks. But as we start getting those in, we can start structuring our chapters, organizing those hurdles and roadblocks across our chapters so that we can start building them out. Now, a chapter, how we like to build chapters, let's take mapping out the hero mission, for example. If you look at this from left to right, it's kind of how the hero flows through life, right? They have a problem. They're going to find your content either doing an organic search or getting an email. They're going to go read your content. When they're reading your content, we want to push them over to an offer that adds even more value. So maybe our content piece offers one piece of value, and then we have a content offer that sums up numerous content pieces into one nice, valuable offer. So if they come in through an email and they start looking at our customer journey infographic, maybe there's a CTA on that page that promotes our content strategy playbook. They go over there and they want to get that content. They want to get it. So they're like, yes, I will definitely give you my name, my company, and my email address so that I can get that valuable content, because I really like the customer journey infographic. I got value out of that. If I got value out of that content, I'm definitely expecting to get value out of the content strategist playbook. It's why it's important when you're creating content, you always have to have value in your content. Okay. Then once they come to our website, we can remarket to them. So we can start serving them ads that are showing them the other content pieces that can add value to the mission that they're trying to accomplish. And then once we get them captured, a little bit predatory, but once we get them captured into our CRM, now we can start nurturing them, and we can start showing them in a more complete way all of the value that we can offer them throughout our entire content strategy. Again, this is just a recap of the hero mission storyboard. When you are looking at the storyboard, you don't have to start from the beginning and work your way to the end when you're doing your content strategy. What you want to do is you want to look at each chapter and you want to figure out what's our immediate needs. Which chapters are designed specifically to sell, which chapters are better for brand building. And then you can start prioritizing how you want to schedule out the content that you're going to come up with to create that aligns with those chapters. So that's how that works. Once you have your hero, once you have your mission established, once you build out your storyboard, now you can combine that all together into a nice epic story. And that's going to help you build expertise, authority, and trust. Okay. Let's talk a little bit about sales and marketing, aligning sales and marketing. So being in the agency world for over 15 years, I know that most companies, the relationship between sales and marketing is kind of like two people sitting around a campfire singing Kumbaya. That's how it normally happens, which is totally sarcastic and not true. This is actually what the relationship typically looks like. It's a little bit more of, well, I'll let you figure out who represents the sales team in this department and who represents the marketing team in this department. So that kind of adversarial relationship, or even just like a relationship where they just ignore each other, that makes it challenging for both teams to be successful. 57% of the buyer's journey is completed before a prospect ever picks up the phone to call a sales rep. So this is important. Sales should understand this, that 50% of the decision making is happening so early in the process. And the marketing team is really the one that's responsible for creating anything that helps nurture them through that 57% in order to pick up the phone and call the sales rep. Now, the marketing team has to understand that the remaining part of the sales journey, the sales rep has an opportunity to get a wealth of information on what was needed, what was impactful during that first part of the journey for that hero, so that we can refine and build better content and help improve that nurturing process so that we can help the sales rep close even better. So in the end, we really do need to have a let's sit around the campfire singing Kumbaya kind of moment between the sales team and the marketing team. And actually, I would even throw the leadership and the service team in that as well. It's just important. Anybody who's working with the customer and customer facing is important in content strategy, because they're going to have knowledge that we can leverage. They're going to see ways that we can add value to the entire mission of the hero. Okay, so we discussed heroes, we talked about missions, we talked about story building, we talked a little bit about aligning teams. Now I have a challenge for you, and don't worry, I'm going to send out a checklist. You don't have to write all this down. But what it boils down to is I would like everybody to go research and understand what your immediate business goals are. What KPIs are you trying to hit? What are your revenue goals? And then I want you to start doing a little bit of brainstorming and uncover what heroes are best suited to help you hit those business goals. What are they trying to accomplish that your products and services can help them accomplish that is going to help you hit those business goals? I want you to organize that all out, organize the mission, dig into the hurdles and roadblocks, create 4 to 6 chapters for that, put it all together in a presentation, share that with your team internally, and see what impact that strategy has on your team. And then I would love for you to come back and tell me how that, what the impact was. I'd love to get your feedback on how that worked out for you. And then I would also love to get feedback. So I'm going to send out an email. It's going to have the checklist that I just talked about. It's going to have a little bit of a survey in it. I would like to know which section you liked the best, the hero mission story building section. But I would also like to know if you were going to dig into one of those sessions, and we could talk about how we the details we go into as far as how we build out our hero profiles, how we build out our mission profiles, how we build out the chapters and the content ideas for each chapter. Let me know which of those 3 would be most interesting to you. And then that is how I will work on my next webinar. And just 2 updates. Next month, we're hoping to do a tools webinar about CallRail and leveraging CallRail. And then in November, we are going to be doing an SEO webinar, which is a second part to a webinar that we did a couple months ago, the SEO sandwich webinar. So that's going to be a very exciting, very good webinar coming up in November. So that's what I have today. If anybody has any questions, you can ask them now. If you're interested and want to talk more one-on-one, feel free to set up a call with me, a 15, 20-minute call, and I'd be happy to answer any questions and help you create a better content strategy for your business.
Hi, Rob. Do have one question here from Kimberly, who says that the biggest hurdle is getting business goals, getting some direction, mostly working on a goal of get more clients. So what suggestions do you have there for helping someone establish or get management to commit to specific business goals?
So yeah, get more clients. I mean, and I don't know your business, right? But there has to be different kinds of clients, I would imagine. And I would just sit down with leadership, and I would ask them questions until they can actually identify who the best clients are for you. Because here's one thing about content strategy: a lot of people try to write content that'll speak to the market. right? You're creating content and that you just push out that is kind of vague and nebulous, and it just speaks to the market. What we want to do is we want to start drilling in, and we want to talk to a specific hero who's on a specific mission. Because if we start creating content that's more niche like that, it's going to resonate better with our heroes. So until you can drill in to a specific hero, a specific mission, your content's going to end up being general. Now, so what I would do, I would have conversations with leadership, and I would say, okay, well, which clients, try and break your clients up into what you're consulting with them for, and figure out which ones are most profitable, which ones you like working with the best, or actually just start looking at your existing clients and say, who are our best clients and why are they our best clients? Not necessarily your most profitable clients, but the ones that you guys will bend over backwards for. So just start looking at them and then seeing what the commonalities are with them. And that'll probably lead you down to a good hero that you could start building a content strategy around.
Any other questions for the Stump the Rob portion of this session?
I'm unstumpable. Okay, I'm not necessarily unstumpable, but
I think that's it, Rob.
All right. All right, then everybody have a good day. We will send out a copy of the video, and then we'll also send out an email follow-up as well. Thank you very much.